Very good afternoon to everyone. I feel I feel really privileged to be on this Gup-Shap session with with Pooja Vijay, who has brought revolution to this stand-up to the field of stand-up comedy. She is India's first stuttering stand-up comedian. uh, so so everyone, let us invite Pooja Vijay. Uh, uh, good, good afternoon, Pooja.
This is the second time I have to hear all praises about me. But thank you, thank you for that, and thank you, Nikhil and Rohil for inviting me for this talk. And I'm so happy to be here and happy to see all of you. Um, and I would love to answer any questions, any help that I can give. I know that stammering is a very personal journey for us all. But I would like to be able to share anything and also to hear from you as well. So I'm very much looking forward to this session and the great work that your organization does.
Well, thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Pooja. And yeah, I am quite sure that we all are going to get a lot to learn from you. And I guess we can begin right from your childhood. That like, how was your childhood? Where were you from? Uh, like like I just want to know everything.
So actually, I was born in Mumbai. So I guess that's where you are right now, right? In
Uh,
Mumbai.
actually, I am from Nagpur. Uh,
Okay. S- So I am Tamilian, so I speak Tamil, but my family was in Bombay living there, so I was born there. But at a young age, around 1 year old, we moved to the Middle East. So I lived in Dubai for some years. And then after that, when I was around 10 or 11 years old, I moved back to Bangalore and I've kind of been settled here only now in Bangalore. So I guess I would mostly think I'm a Bangalorean, I guess. And so, um, yeah, that's about my childhood. And I think when I was growing up, of course, when you're a younger kid, the stand-up, I mean, the stuttering doesn't, um, become that much an issue because kids are just learning how to speak and things like that. But it was when I moved back to Bangalore when I was around 10 or 11, that I started to notice, that even when I was speaking in class and school, I was starting to stutter. So yeah, I guess, I mean, we can talk about the stuttering afterwards, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of where the journey began for me because someone has asked me, can you tell me your stammering journey? So I think around 10, 11 is when it really highlighted. Yeah.
so, like, talking about your childhood, what do you mm, like in your childhood? What did you wanted to pursue as a career? Like,
Yes. I had a very, now that I think about it, maybe I would not do that. But when I was growing up, I really, really wanted to be an air hostess. I really, because I loved traveling in the plane and I loved, I loved seeing all the air hostesses like serving everybody and wearing the nice outfits and all of this. So when I was growing up, I wanted to do that. But yeah, I didn't end up pursuing that career. But that was my dream when I was a child. Yeah.
and like, everyone's child ev- ev- everyone's childhood, like, there is something like a superhero, or a certain king, or queens to uh, like, like, they are too much inspired by those characters. So did so did you had any such inspiring characters, like, like you used to always think that ये ऐसे ही बनना है यार. So did you had any of pe such people in back in those child days?
Yeah, when I was young, I loved karate. I'm actually like a black belt in karate, and so I always liked seeing all the He-Man and all those kind of action shows, those action shows. But yeah, so I wanted to be like very rough and tough, like that also. But then I also wanted to be an air hostess. So I think I know as a child you want to do everything all at once.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
understand.
but actually ever since I was a child, I liked to go on stage and to talk and to participate in all these kind of things. Even when I was a kid, I always wanted to speak on stage. And as I told you, and it didn't occur to me that I had a stutter, so I can't speak on stage. Only much later, around 10, 11, it occurred to me. So even when I was growing up in Dubai, I would like to participate in like talks and debates. I mean, for a kid, of course, but I would still like to be on stage and do all those kind of performances. Yeah.
So since you said that you have a black belt in karate, so did you ever had a fight with with someone like these scenarios we see in Bollywood, that while
Act-
you are walking,
Actually,
someone is trying to steal your purse or phone?
this is a funny story because I did not in the phone. There was a guy in school. I shouldn't say this because my mom is on this call as well, but she knows. There was, there was, when I was in school, around seventh or eighth grade, there was this guy who would keep on making fun of me because of my stutter and bullying me and always being really mean. So one day I got really angry and I just went and gave him two karate kicks and just punched him. And I just punched him and I got really, really angry with him. So yeah, maybe in a way, because I got very angry because every day he would tease me and every day he would say something. So then I just got really, really angry with him. So yeah, I guess in that way it did come to use. But then I mean, I don't encourage violence and I don't encourage when someone teases you to go and punch them or anything like this. This was just when I was a kid, uh, because he used to trouble me a lot.
Yeah, and I hope that I am not tr- troubling you a lot. Uh, so then, how was your life in Dubai?
So actually, I don't remember much because I was quite a young child, but it was fun. I was always playing in the park with my friends and cycling. And as I told you, I was always I was a tomboy, I guess is what you will call. So I was always active and running and running around, very naughty kid. But at the same time, I did well in my school. I like to study. I'm doing a PhD now as well. So yeah, it was good. I had a nice time. But you can ask my family as well. Wherever I go, my heart is in India. So every time I come back, I only feel happy and peaceful here. So it was good, but then I'm very happy. My family moved back to Bangalore, and then I got to live here too.
So when did you started noticing your stuttering, and how it impacted your life?
So actually, even when I was in school, I remember in third or fourth grade, there was this competition done by this Nestle company, the chocolate
Mhm.
company. They
Yeah.
all wanted us to dress up in some costume of their chocolates, and we had to go speak on stage. And I remember my teacher back then itself was like, "Oh, I don't think you should go because because of the way you speak." And then, but I wanted to go. I really wanted to go. So then we took a vote in the class, like who should go on stage, and then I got chosen. So even then, it wouldn't occur to me that I had a stutter. I was wondering what is she saying, like how I speak. So because at that time, we didn't have all these. Now there's much better, like as you're growing at a younger age itself, they identify. I used to just think, oh, sometimes I get nervous, sometimes I don't know. I sometimes, I don't get the words, but nobody told me like I have this problem. So I also thought I don't have any problem. Then when I moved to India, one of my sister's friends, actually, my elder sister's friends, was a speech therapist. And then she told my sister, when I was around 10, 11 years old, she told my sister, I think your sister has a stutter. So that's when I realized, oh, okay, I have something, that when I speak, then I started to notice. And then I went for speech therapy. I learned some of those techniques as we were talking yesterday of the extension, like extending the words, substituting the words, speaking with a deep breath, and all those kind of things. But at some point I was finding it too hard, and it was not, it was becoming little. I mean, my stutter improved a lot also, then my fluency improved a lot then, but it was not becoming 100%. It was, no matter what, it was not becoming 100%. And then when I was talking with friends and all, it was okay, but then um, if I had to do public speaking or get up on stage, or if I had to like when I do stand up, or when I have to give a presentation, that time it definitely becomes much stronger, the stutter becomes much stronger. So that was remaining. So if sometime when I was 10, 11, I got a bit frustrated, like why is this why is the stutter not going away? Then I used to come home and I used to feel sad. And I told you, some people in school also would tease me, would bully me. Then at some point I realized, when I was a kid itself, that okay, I need to accept it. This is who I am. How much ever speech therapy I can keep doing, I can keep practicing those techniques. But then certain times, in those nervous moments, it's how much ever I practice, it's it's coming, like the stutter is coming. So at a young age itself, I think I had to do the journey of acceptance, because especially when you're teased a lot and all these kind of things, you have to learn to accept yourself, because otherwise when people keep saying things to you, you shouldn't let that affect you. I mean, it does affect you, and I do get upset. And I had a friend also, one my best friend, then she used to go and fight with anyone who used to tease me also. Sometimes you can't fight, you always can't stand up for yourself. So it's good to have friends and family also who will support you, because there are a lot of people who will tease you, and who will, especially when you're growing up, maybe when you're adults. I mean, you all should tell me your experience, but when I grow up, I find it's less. People are a little less mean when you're growing up, but definitely when you're kids and in school, people can be a little mean about these things. Yeah.
Wow. The thing which you just told about acceptance, like when I became, I guess, 26-year-old, at that time I understood the importance of acceptance. So I wish, as you just told, that you understood the actual power of acceptance back then when you were just a child. I wish I was that matured back then. Yeah, so yeah, so then will do you want to talk more about your accepting journey, as you just said that back in your childhood you started accepting yourself. So then what was acceptance for you?
So acceptance was two things. As I said, one, either I thought, okay, I can keep on going for speech therapy and classes and then become 100%. But as I said, how much ever I was doing, I did it for like 1 year or so, I think. And then my friend, as I told you, my sister's friend was a speech therapist. So, but then then she kept saying, you have to come back for remedial, like, come back again and again, because you have to keep coming every year for 1 month or so. Then I realized, okay, I can keep trying to get 100% fluency, or I can accept who I am as I am. um, and just, okay, there's something different about me, and I can accept it. And then I decided to choose the second route, because I don't want to be ashamed. I didn't want to see my stuttering as something I had to be ashamed about and I had to fix it. I didn't want to see it as, oh, there's something wrong with me, I'm stuttering, so I need to go and fix it and become like everybody else. Rather, I said, okay, this is who I am. This is what God, the universe, God has made me like this. So now it's better for me to stop being ashamed of myself and to accept that, okay, sometimes I will stutter, sometimes sometimes I'll forget to use the technique, so it'll just come out. And I found it easier for me, and I understand for everyone it's a different journey. I've spoken to many people who say, no, I want to be 100% fluent. I don't want to have a stutter. So if that's the choice they make, that's also fine. But for me, I said, okay, this is who I am, and I want to accept who I am. So, because otherwise we'll keep thinking there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with me, I have to become like everybody else. And I didn't want that mentality, because that then prevents you from doing certain things. Then you say, oh, I can't go on stage because I'm not like everybody else. So I can't go on public speaking because I'm not like everybody else. Till I achieve 100% fluency, I don't want to go on stage. Till I achieve. So I didn't want that mentality to take over my brain. So then, and even my mom and my dad would say, it's nothing. It's okay. It's okay. So I think that was also good. And I said I had supportive friends also. Some would say it's cute. It's cute. You sound cute when you speak like this. So because once I remember when I was 18 in my school, I had done very well in the exam. So they asked me to speak to the other students. Then I was feeling so embarrassed because in front of so many students to, give like a speech in front of so many students. Then one of my friends, then I said, I'm feeling nervous because I stutter. He said, no, 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 it makes you look very adorable. It's okay, you just go and speak. So I just went and spoke. So having the acceptance journey all by yourself is tough, but it's great when you can have people around you who can support you, your friends, your family, these kind of groups, where you can accept yourself for who you are. I'm not saying you don't keep trying to improve and don't keep trying to become 100% better, but during that journey you can't keep feeling bad for yourself. You need to also think, I'm amazing as I am. So I think that was the journey for me. Yeah.
Wow, that was actually too great. I wish I should have eaten more badams so that I could have been as matured as you. Wow. um, yeah. So then yeah, and as you spoke about the acceptance thing, I saw your few stand-up comedy videos on YouTube, and the way you were uh, like uh, जैसा बोलते हैं ना कि you were stammering so openly. That was so good. Frankly speaking, I haven't gone to level of acceptance. That's it. So yeah, yeah, but someday I will definitely go there. That I am quite sure of. Yeah. So then, how was your college life?
College life was okay. Yeah, college life was fun. I mean, I was doing my engineering. But yeah, and then as I said, I always really loved public speaking. But during college life also, I tried to join some public speaking society, like debating society and all that. But actually, in that, the stuttering. So in debating, you can do. I don't know if anyone here has done in the debating society. You can either be a judge who judges the way people speak, or you can be the debater who makes the speeches. So in the beginning I used to want to be the speaker, but then actually a lot of opposition teams would actually make fun of my stutter when I was doing debating. So then even in my team they said, okay, and then I used to get upset because I'm like, why are you bringing up, I mean, instead of listening to the content and the
Mm.
issues I'm speaking about, why are you bringing up this thing which is not at all relevant to the situation? So then I decided to become more of a judge. So then I took a back seat, you know. But I think in that situation, it definitely did affect me because uh, debating is not like stand up. It's very aggressive. You know, you have two teams competing against each other. So that time, some people can get mean, you know, like they can insult you or make like personal comments. So actually, you're supposed to be saying, okay, I'm for some issue, I'm against some issue. But then when they started making personal comments about me, I didn't like it. So then I actually, that is one time I should admit that this that then it affected me when people kept saying about my stutter. So then I decided to take a more back seat in the debating team. Yeah, and because yeah, as I spoke about, how much ever we accept when other people make fun or tease us, it does affect us, right? In the moment. Even
Right.
later on, we may become strong and be, oh, I don't care. But in that moment, it definitely does. It does affect. Yeah.
So sometimes do you think like as you just said that few people they try to insult you in that debating society. So sometimes do you think that कि आप उनको जाके बोलो that see now I am the India's first stuttering stand-up comedian and what are you guys doing? So do you think sometimes like that?
I mean, now I've never thought like that, but now that you put it like that, yeah, I think it is definitely an achievement that I have made. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, definitely at that time, probably I should have changed my mentality, and instead of feeling bad, I should have said, you know what, I am debating despite my problem, you know, that even despite my problem that I'm having, I am on the debating team. Whereas, what have you done, as you said? But I didn't have that brains or that thinking back then. But this is, yeah, this is a good way to think now that you have told me. Mm.
Okay, so so when did you started like uh, uh, l- I don't want to go directly into your career in stand-up comedy because I want you to talk in depth uh, about that. So after your graduation, did you directly went for stand-up comedy or you went for something else?
No, after my graduation, I actually went for my master's degree abroad. So I
Mm-hmm.
was in Europe for 2 years. And that time actually I didn't do, I mean, my course was very busy, so I didn't have time to do any public speaking or debating. I didn't do much of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and abroad, I'll tell you one thing, people are a little kinder than India. They will pretend like they don't hear or they don't, nobody, not even one person. In India, people are a little direct. If you stutter, they'll directly say something to your face. So even in my undergrad, so many times that I would meet people, they always give me unwanted advice. You know, oh, I mean, you will also be getting all this rubbish advice sometimes. Like one guy told me, go and what did he tell me? Go stand like this for 10 minutes every day and then your stuttering will go away. And I was like, I'm not going to go. He said, make up in the morning, go next to the sun and stand sticking out your tongue and your mouth open and for 10
Sorry.
minutes every day, your stuttering will go away, you know. And all rubbish, you know, in India, people give sometimes unwanted advice, is not, you don't ask and they just want to give you advice. So I should say abroad in Western countries, it's little less. People, they don't, even if they notice, they don't say anything. They just keep quiet. And only like, and actually, so the issue of stuttering didn't come up much abroad. But then as I said, my heart is in India. So after my master's, I wanted to come back and I got a job. Then I was working also, everything was fine. Then there's a place called uh, Urban Solace, which is in India, which even many comedians started from Kannan Gill, Kenny Sebastian,
Oh.
all of the Bangalore comics, Naveen Richards, they all used to do open mic. That was the only place at that time in Bangalore which had open mic. So then one friend from my work said, "Oh, I want to try open mic. Let's go." So then I went for that show in Urban Solace, and then he was very I shouldn't say it, but that guy who went with me was very bad. So nobody laughed at his jokes. Then I said, "Oh my God, this guy is doing well. I can do better than him." So then I ran home and I told I live with my grandmother and my mother. I told them I'm going to do stand up next week at Urban Solace. This guy was so bad, I can do better than him. So then the next week I went and I did my first show just for fun. I didn't think of
Wow.
it any just as a one time thing, just like, oh, I'll just like once in a lifetime experience kind of thing. Yeah.
Uh, so how old were you when you tried your first stand-up comedy?
So that was 2015. So now I am actually quite old. I'm 33. So minus 5 minus 7. So 7 years ago, right? Yeah. Yeah. So 7 years ago I did. So I was like 27, 26, 27 at that point. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So I have one question for you. When you did your first stand-up comedy, and which is very natural that you might have stammered on few words, right? So what was people's reaction where they were like ये तो हकलाती है so did so did you get that kind of reactions and all?
No, actually, my first time. Wait, first I just want to read this comment. So Pratika sent me a comment saying that he is doing his masters in Sydney, and he also said that when he moved abroad, people were more kinder, so his stammer reduced. So I think that is true. Even I notice when people point out my stammer or when they comment about it, it actually becomes worse. If people pretend
Hmm.
that I don't have any stammer, if people just don't say anything and just talk to me like a normal, like normally, that time it becomes lower. But actually when people keep commenting or saying something, or like this guy giving me rubbish advice on how to get rid of it, then I notice, that's a situation where it becomes worse for me. So I don't know about your experiences, but when people notice it, for me it becomes worse. And when people just don't notice and just don't say anything, then automatically it goes down for me too. So that's actually a good point, that actually people think they're helping when they're saying, "Oh, go do this and that," but they're making it worse, I feel. Um, yeah, so that was a good point. Thanks, Pratik. Did you ask me the question? No, actually, my first time was not like that. And but I always start my set as you said. I always start my set with acknowledging my stammer. I tell everyone, look, I'm a stand-up comedian, but I have a stutter. Because what people think is I'm nervous. And I'm sure this happens to you all also, that people, when we stutter, they think we are nervous. So people were like, they came to me and they said, don't be nervous, don't be nervous. Then I realized, no, no, I'm not nervous. I mean, this is just um, how I speak, and I have to tell people that, no, no, this is how I speak. I'm not nervous. So then I realized, in order to avoid such a situation where people will say, oh, you're nervous, I start off my set by saying, hey guys, listen, I have this problem. And then I start making some jokes about it, but only for few minutes, because um, I don't want to stress on that aspect. As you yesterday, you asked me, that some people were messaging me, what do you mean undefined by
Yeah.
labels, and to explain that. So, so that's what I want to explain. That yes, I stutter, but that is only one aspect of me. I don't, even when everyone used to label stuttering comedian, I used to say to the journalist, why you want to make that label? I'm a comedian who has a stutter, but
Hmm.
why you want to make that label stuttering comedian? Because I'm so many more things. I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I work, everything. Why you want to give me only one label, stuttering? So that's why I wanted to say that yes, that is one aspect of me, but we all have so many more aspects, right? We all have hobbies, we all love to do something, we all love to, um, there are so many aspects of us. So I don't want to only keep on acknowledging like, oh, I stutter, I stutter, I stutter. That is only one part of me. Out of 100 parts of me, that's only one part of me. So that's what I mean by undefined by labels. That I don't want any label of tall, thin, stutter. I don't want any of those labels, because I feel we are all human beings and we are so many things all at once. So that's what I meant by that. So yeah, so when I did that first stand up, people thought I was just nervous. So then later on, I always, next show onwards, I clarified, no, no, I'm not nervous. Um, I actually have this problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, uh, from now on, I want to like learn more about your stand-up comedy journey. And before that, I was wondering that we can have few uh, few questions from the audience.
Sure.
So, yeah, so if anyone wants to ask anything, uh, just raise their hand. Kalpesh. mm,
Just unmute myself. Hi Pooja, myself Kalpesh Patel. Are you able to hear me, Pooja?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yes, my very simple question: how to motivate yourself? Because in daily life we are facing a lot of issue due to this stammering. So how to motivate yourself? What is your
So
success mantra?
can you give me some example of what issues you're facing?
It means when you go in office, so sometimes we stutter and we feel very nervous. So that sometimes we get less confidence while talking to people, and those are the issues. So in your case also you may face such kind of same problem. So how to motivate yourself? What is your success mantra? Where you have a strong mindset. So this I wanted to know what you do for daily life.
So yeah, even I sometimes have a lot of low confidence. I'll tell you one time I was doing a stand-up show. So I'm a South Indian, right? Tamil Nadu. So my Hindi is not very good. And when I was doing stand-up, I lived in New Delhi. And
Okay.
sometimes I'll be doing shows and all comics will be speaking in Hindi, but I will be struggling. So once I was doing a stand-up show, and I guess all audience was only Hindi speaking audience. So nobody was laughing at my English jokes. Nobody was laughing. Then after 2 minutes, I just ran out of stage. Like my confidence went so low because not a single person was laughing. I was cracking the jokes. Usually everybody laughing at the jokes. Nobody was laughing. My confidence was like so bad. Then I just said, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do stand up anymore. And I just got very upset. Then, and many situations also, that's one situation in stand up, but many situations, even when I get, even now I've applied for some jobs, I got rejected from the jobs. Then, I mean, it doesn't have to do sometimes with stammering, sometimes not even with stammering, right? Your confidence can go low. In those situations, then I let myself feel sad for some time, where maybe half an hour to 1 hour, just let myself feel sad. And then I tell myself everybody has issues, everybody has problems. I'm not the only one who has low confidence. Maybe somebody will be feeling, even you see Deepika Padukone, she says, oh, I sometimes get low confidence. So even the most beautiful ladies get low confidence. So I just tell myself, like, everybody faces issues, everybody has such issues, I'm not the only one. And I make myself better. That's one. And the second thing I tell myself, everybody doesn't care about me that much. I am feeling so conscious because I think everybody is looking at me, or everybody is, going to say something about me. But actually, most people care only about themselves and their life. So they'll not even remember that, oh, this girl started yesterday. They'll go on with their life and their problems. So those are the two ways in which I say. One, I say, oh, tomorrow nobody will even. So then I said, nobody will even remember. These people won't even know my name that I failed in the stand-up show. And then so I just ignored it. And then the second thing I say is that everybody goes through things. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a good day. Everybody has some issue or the other. Nobody is perfect. And so that way also. I think those are my two secrets that I have, because I also have some days I have very low confidence, and definitely on the low confidence days I think my stutter can go up. Like if I get some bad news, or somebody has not accepted, I have got rejection from some job, or somebody has teased me, that day definitely my stutter would have increased. So definitely confidence is linked to the stutter, how you speak. But then yeah, I let it go, and then I just tell myself it's okay, this will pass and better things will happen, and nobody will remember such an incident even happened. And I just, yeah, and then I just say tomorrow I will do better. And third thing, sorry, I know there are many questions, and third thing is also I say I am doing the best I can. I can only do so much, right? I mean, we have a stutter, we have to accept it. I can't try to be like, I can't sing, but I can't try to be Lata Mangeshkar or Asha Bhosle. I can't sing. So I am trying to do the best that I can do. So these three things help me, I think.
Yeah, so thank you for that. Now, Sonam, you may ask.
I think she's not there, Rohit. Not,
Yeah, I
maybe
don't
because she's
see. Oh, no,
next.
she's come back, I think.
Siddhi, you can ask next question. Siddhi.
No, I think Sonam has come back, but she's on mute. She's saying she's not able to unmute.
Just a minute. I'll just. Yeah. Yeah. So we can ask now. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
मैम माय क्वेश्चन इज कि जैसे आपने बताया कि आप स्टैंड अप करती हैं, तो मतलब मेरा इतना डर है कि मुझे लगता है कि अगर मैं वहां पे जाऊं स्टैंड अप करने, तो मैं इतना ज्यादा डर जाऊंगी कि आई एम नॉट एबल टू अटर अ सिंगल वर्ड। तो मतलब उस चीज को कैसे फाइट करें, क्योंकि काफी ऐसे मौके मिलते हैं कि जहां हम पब्लिक स्पीकिंग कर सकते हैं, पर जस्ट अ फियर कि मैं वहां पे गई तो मैं एक शब्द मेरे मुंह से निकलेगा ही नहीं, मैं कितना भी ट्राई कर लूं। तो उस चीज को आपने कैसे हैंडल किया?
So I think you need to ask first, why are you so scared? Like, what is the fear coming from? Like, what do you think will be the reaction of the people? Like, are you scared because the people will make fun of you, or are you scared? I mean, so what is you think your reason to be scared?
मैम मैम ऐसा लगता है कि जब मैं वहां जाऊंगी तो मैं बोल नहीं पाऊंगी, और फिर जो लोग पब्लिक बैठी हो सोचेगी जब बोलने आई है तो ये बोल क्यों नहीं रही है। एक होता है नहीं, जस्ट फर्स्ट वर्ड में और फंबलिंग इतनी ज्यादा, यू मतलब यू आर स्ट्रेचिंग दैट वर्ड, स्ट्रेचिंग दैट वर्ड, स्ट्रेचिंग दैट वर्ड। तो मेरे की इमेजिनेशन में ऐसी बनी हुई है कि मतलब ये सिचुएशन होने वाली है।
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. So it's in our head actually. Most people are understanding and kind. Some people are bad, I agree. Some people may say something, but most people, they will, especially they will say, oh wow, this person is, even though they have this problem, they are public speaking, they'll appreciate you actually. So we need to get rid of that fear from our head, because it's not. And I think even yesterday Nikhil and Rohil were telling me that you have some interaction with public and all those kind of things. I think those things will build your confidence, because you'll realize most people are not that rude or mean. If you speak, they'll say, why are you stretching your words and all that thing. Most people will, especially when you're public speaking, people will give you a chance, and many people afterwards will come and tell you, oh, you're so brave, so amazing that you went on stage. So a lot of the fear is in our own head. So once we realize that people are not that bad, the public is not that bad, and the public is not that mean, then we will get the confidence to speak. You just do it once and see, then you'll realize that people are not that bad. Then you'll get the confidence to do it again and again and again. But you need that first time, you have to gain that confidence and just do it. Don't think, just do it. Don't think too much. कि क्या होगा, what will people say, all that don't think. Just say, I want to do this, so I'm doing it. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I want to speak on stage, so I'm going to speak on stage. Then you go and speak, then see how many people are coming and saying, Madam, you're so brave. And then how many people are saying, Chi, what is this girl speaking? Most people will say, wow, she's so brave, she's so amazing. And maybe few people will say, oh, she has some problem, but we can ignore such idiots and we can pay attention to the people who are appreciating us.
Well, that was indeed a wonderful advice. So now we can go forward with Siddhi.
Hello, ma'am. I wanted to ask you, like, initially, whenever you were on stage, right? I mean, it must have been harder, right, for you. Like, how do you handle your anxiety on that stage? And also, I wanted to ask you, like, I've seen that if we have something to say, right, and if it's if it's uh, uh, impromptu, so it's more easier. In contrast to, like, if you have to say only these specific things. So, like, how do you say about that? Thank you.
So definitely, I actually deal with anxiety. So whether stand up or not, I have a lot of anxiety. So I get very anxious. But as I said, my mantra is just I don't know how to wait. Let me think of the. So yes, I feel very anxious. I have to do the stand-up show, and I feel very anxious. But I just have to do it, despite the anxiety. So I tell myself, okay, you're feeling very anxious right now, but after that, even though you're feeling anxious, you have to do this. You have to work through the anxiety and just do it. Then once I start doing the show, I start feeling calm. So before the show, I'll be feeling so much anxiety. Then I'll start doing it and I'll feel calm. That's what I was telling Sonam also. A lot of it is in our own head, the anxiety, the nervousness, a lot of it is in our own head. But once we start doing it, once we start being confident, and once and the more confident we are, the more people, oh no, I don't mind questions. Actually, I like answering the questions more than I'm talking all the time. So I don't mind the Q&A. But yeah, so once we get that mentality that we just have to go beyond the anxiety cannot control us. We have to control the anxiety. Once you reach that stage, then I think you'll realize ki, a lot of it was in my own head. Actually, I did not even have to be nervous. It's like when you have to write an exam and you're feeling so nervous, then once you start writing the exam, everything becomes okay, and you even get the good grades and pass the exam. It's the same situation. I used to get very anxious. Then I used to get like panic and oh my god. Then once I go on stage, I become calm after the first few words, and after first few minutes, then I become calm. So I think we have I understand it's hard. I understand we all have anxiety, nervousness, all these issues, but we have to face them and fight through them somehow. Because if we keep letting other people telling us how we have to live our lives, and that you have a stutter so you can't public speak, you have a stutter so you can't do this, you have a stutter so you can't do that, then we'll be living like that only our whole lives. We have to do whatever we want. Because why should other people tell us what to do? Meaning, why should other people be telling us what we can and we can't do? We should do what we want, and I understand it's tough. Even I have many hard days. That's what I was trying to say. Every day I'm not feeling confident. Some days I wake up and I tell my mom, I'm feeling so low, I'm feeling so bad, my confidence is so low right now. But then even with that low confidence, I'll keep doing. I'll just keep doing. Whether it's a good or bad work, I'll just keep doing. So I think that's the advice.
So we can go forward with Aditya.
Hey, thank you. Uh, good, good, good evening, ma'am. I'm Aditya. I'm from uh, Bangalore itself. So my question to you is like, as a kid who stammers, right? So we have a strong conditioning since childhood that we start to f fear the stage and simply run away from it. It's only like in the last 2, 3 years where like I've started to use forums like TISA and to Toastmasters to actually speak on stage. And like sometimes, like even though no matter how I speak, coming out of that experience, it feels good, and I have a feeling and faith that someday I might end up loving the stage too. So I wanted to know from you, like after all your stand-up experiences that you have been on stage, does that actually happens? Like, do you have reached a point where you from fearing the stage to loving the stage, or it can be both fear and love at the same time? And if like that did happen to you, at what point like did came, and like anything you can talk around that?
So first of all, hi, it's great to meet a fellow Bangalorean. I feel very happy when I'm here. Uh, and no, I think it's, as you said, I love being on stage. Honestly, I miss it. I haven't done stand up in a few years. I miss it so much. I'm doing my PhD now, but I made up my mind the minute I graduate from my PhD, because it's a lot. I have to study a lot. I don't have time to write jokes and stuff. But I made up my mind the minute I finish my stand up, I'm going to go back on the stage because I love it. And as I was telling Sonam and Siddhi, a lot of it comes from realizing that people are there to appreciate me. That's where the love for the stage comes from. But when you're fearful and you always think that, oh, people are going to make fun of me, people are going to say something. And I understand where that fear comes from, because so many people have made fun of us. So many people have said something to us. So, but once we can overcome that and realize that actually people will appreciate us, and it's a good feeling, as you said, to go up on stage. And I think Toastmasters is an excellent place, and they're very accepting of, because even I have a cousin who has she has a different speaking disability, but she also has a disability. I mean, her words are much slower. um she also does Toastmasters and she loves it. So, I think like it's a very accepting place, and I think it's a great space for people to go and to talk, and just to realize that, people will appreciate you when you're speaking. So yeah, I would encourage all of you, actually, if you can, to join a Toastmasters and kind of those kind of speaking organizations where they help us to speak. You will also gain the confidence to speak in a other situation, also in a job interview or in some other interview or something like that. Because I mean, one thing is people making fun of us, but then one thing is also practically, right? Somebody might not hire us if we stutter too much. Somebody might not give us a job, or somebody might not want us to put in a front facing jobs and things like that, only in the back end. So there are also such practical issues. So that's why I say we should work on improving it also, so that we'll get those front facing opportunities also. Um, and I think, but to your question of the fear versus the love for the stage, only doing it more and more and more, where you get comfortable to the point that you realize. I did stand up for 3 to 4 years. My first year, I was quite nervous and I had the fear. But after 1 year, I just learned to love the stage. And also, as I said, for me, one thing I feel is very important is support. You have to surround yourself with supportive family, friends. I had many mentors, I had many people who encouraged me. So that is also definitely words of encouragement. Because if people keep insulting you, then you'll obviously your confidence will be low. But words of encouragement can also help a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh, we can go forward with the MD Akhtar.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, whoever put the hands down, please feel free. I love to answer questions rather than only keep talking by myself.
Hello.
So feel free.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Nafi Akhtar, ma'am, and actually I'm from Bihar. And ma'am, currently I'm studying in Jamia Millia Islamia. And ma'am, my question is that, ma'am, I'm actually, ma'am, worrying about my future, because I want to, ma'am, clear UPSC examination, ma'am. And I thought that after, ma'am, when I will clear the exam and I will have to interact with the people. So that thing, ma'am, makes me, ma'am, worry all the time. And this is my question, ma'am. So
But
how will you? Yeah, ma'am.
so first of all, I know it is tough, but you have to stop worrying somehow. Because now when you spoke to me, I didn't even know you were stuttering. I didn't even understand that you are having a stutter now. So I don't think it will be any problem when you do any interview or anything like that. I think a lot of it is the worrying in the head, and we should reduce. Somehow ourselves. We should reduce that nervousness. Because from how you spoke right now, I would not, if I was the interviewer, I would not even know you have any problem or you have any stutter. So just you also think I don't have any problem, and just gain that confidence, and then I think you will clear the exam. Yeah. We should have confidence in ourselves, and even when we should say, so what if we stutter, so what will happen, what will end, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? So if we have those mantras and that confidence, we build our confidence, I think we can achieve anything.
So Mansi has about sorry, she wants to ask.
Hi, Pooja.
Hello.
Thank you so much, dear. And it was so nice to hear you so transparently and openly sharing all your views and your journey as well as your, childhood. And it is so much related to all of us, actually, the facts that we have faced in the childhood during our college and all. I just, wanted to know that now, since you are like on your journey to becoming more and more famous by virtue of being a comedian. So don't you think that, you should tell people, as you rightly said, that, the surrounding makes you feel more comfortable, and your speech, whatever, the stuttering, it reduces if you are more comfortable with the surrounding. So the way your family supported you or your friends supported you, don't you think, that at the school level, or at the college level, the teachers, who were there, I did not hear from you whether they were very supportive or not. But like when we go back nowadays, to our college gatherings and all, would you like to share a message with those, who could make a change, like, by making those, who are with them, making more aware that, if you give a more comfortable scenario to the stutterers, uh, they will build more confidence, and this stutter means it will help them in speaking with confidence, as well as helping them to be more open to participate in all that. So what do you suggest, and do you think that you can take up this message for all the people who are struggling with stammering, with those, who try to mock at us, that, it is your support and it is actually your acceptance, that will encourage us to be more open and forget about our stammering and to be
So
more free to talk.
I mean, I 100% agree with what you said, and I have been invited to some schools to give talks and stuff. About the teachers question that you asked, no, there have been some teachers which did not support me. As I said, when I wanted to do public speaking and stuff like this, there were definitely other students who got chosen, even though I thought I was good, because I have a stutter. Even though I feel I was making, like, for example, public speaking debates and stuff, even though I feel I had some good arguments, some other student would get chosen because they can speak fluently. So there have been some teachers who I have fought with, not fought with, been upset with, saying, why didn't I get chosen? Then they would say, sorry, you have a stammer. So then I'll say, okay, what, I mean, because we can't go fight with the teacher. So then I definitely think there are some teachers who are not that accepting. So that's a toxic environment for us. But I mean, my ability is limited. So if I have a newspaper interview, or I get called to such associations, or if I get invited to speak in some school, I can definitely do that. But I think on my own, I will not be able to start some movement or something. Awareness, when you already have organizations like TISA and stuff like that, I would like to participate in them and help. But on my own, I don't think I would be starting something or taking up the cause, as you said. But I would like to help in any way that I can with the existing infrastructure that's already there, or existing organizations that do such work. Yeah.
Well, so thank you. Well, thank you for answering so many uh, questions. And guys, I promise you, we will be having another set of Q&A session at the end of it, and because the exciting journey of Pooja's stand-up comedy has just begun. So now I guess we can move forward with like what actually happened after your first stand-up comedy.
Yeah, so after my first stand-up comedy, I went so then I didn't think anything after that. I did one show, it went well, they told me you've done well. Then I just said, "Theek hai, I did well." Once or twice I did it, and then I didn't take it very seriously. Then I got a job in New Delhi, and I moved there, and then I didn't have many friends or much to do. So I said, okay, then what can I do for a time pass? Like, what can I do for fun? Then I remember I did stand up, and then I started doing shows in Delhi. I started actually attending as audience. I wasn't even doing stand up. Then somebody says, I don't know if you'll have heard of Rajneesh Kapoor. Rajneesh Kapoor, he's a very famous comedian. He said, you keep coming to the shows, why don't you then I said, okay, let me also try. Then I just started doing open mics. A lot of it was making fun of me as a Madrasi in Delhi, not being able to speak Hindi, and struggling in a new place. Many of my jokes started as the cultural differences between South Indian and North Indian, and I would make a lot of jokes around that. And then a lot of comedians enjoyed my shows. And how stand-up comedy works is that somebody has to so when you're doing the open mic, somebody has to spot you and say, okay, this girl is good, will they open for my show? So before the main act, you'll have an opening act. So 5-minute open mic. Then somebody said, okay, will you open for me? Will you do 10 minutes before my show? So then some people started asking me to do opening act for them, like Papa CJ, and then this Rajneesh Kapoor, and a few other people started asking me. Then I started doing opening acts. Just so from 5 minutes, I started doing 10 minutes. Then there's one guy in AIB also, Gursimran Kamba, he also saw my show. So a lot of people started to appreciate me and say, oh, will you do acts with us? Will you work with us? Will you start doing shows with us? So that's how it that's how my career started to take off. And then by 3 years, I actually quit my main job and I started doing stand-up full time. Because then I started doing I started doing Canvas Laugh Club with Gaurav Kapoor, Abhishek Upmanyu, a lot of people. I started doing shows with them. I even came to Bombay. I think some people in TISA have seen my show in Bombay also. Kunal Kamra encouraged me a lot. So there were many of these big comedians who, Sonali Thakkar, a lot of them were encouraging me to do shows. So then I started doing the shows. And one thing for me is I really wanted more females in stand-up comedy because I was the only female, the two only stuttering and only female comedian at that time doing the open mics. There were already some established like Vasu Primla and Neeti Palta, but they were like super, like they were not even doing open mics. They were doing corporate shows and this and that. So when I would go for the open mics, I would be the only female comedian. So I started opening some cafes. I mean, I started asking some cafes, can we do only female open mic? Can we have more female comedians? So I started encouraging stuttering comedians, but also female comedians. So yeah, then that's how also I gained prominence because I started encouraging more females to do comedy also. So then I became a little famous because of that as well. Um, but yeah, I think I have done shows with most of the big comedians now who have on Comic Stan, Amazon Prime, Netflix. I've done the Aditi Mittal. Yeah, only Veer Das I haven't done any shows with. But yeah, many famous people I've done shows with, and it was excellent. And as Aditya said, I love the stage. So when you perform with such comedians, also you really start enjoying the shows. Yeah.
Wow. I am a engineer and I work for a construction chemical company. So I whenever I meet people from my field or my background, so we normally have talks about the construction chemicals and then all that stuff. So whenever you hang out with your fellow comedians, what is the topic of your
Oh, we're
talk
just making jokes.
discussion?
We just make jokes. You know, you can't talk seriously with a comedian. They'll only be sitting and making jokes. Uh, and we all just sit and laugh and have a good time, to be honest. It's a very non-serious kind of environment. And people are very light-hearted and just very supportive of each other, that I'll say. In the green room, people are always encouraging each other. They'll say, oh, your show went good. They'll give me many joke suggestions. Ki you can improve your joke this way, you can improve your joke that way. So yeah, it's a very, I like the environment. Some people can get jealous and competitive, of course, if you're very successful. Some people used to say, oh, you're only doing well because you're a female comedian. Many people told me you're faking your stuttering because when you're off stage you don't stutter, but when you're on stage you stutter so much. But all of you know that the stuttering comes worse in certain situations, and certain situations it becomes less. um so a lot of people used to ask me, "Kya aap mimicry kar rahe hain? Like, are you doing a mimicry and not a real or is this your real stutter?" I said, "It's the real stutter." So a lot of people used to think I'm faking it also. Not comedians, I mean audience. And then a lot of comedians will say, "Oh, only because you're female, you're getting the shows." So, but mostly 90% people are very supportive and very nice. And yeah, it's just Gup-Shap like this and just jokes. It's nothing very serious. And tips. They'll say, ki, you can improve your jokes if you do this, you can improve that joke, you should have done that better, you should have done this better. But it's not very serious talks or planning new events. I used to plan a lot of events, so planning such events and things like that. Yeah.
So then it is like a healthy competitive environment, right? So that's what how so the how the environment gets while you are with your fellow comedians. Okay, so so then as you said that at one time you were, like very famous, you were getting many calls for stand-up comedy and then all. So did you ever have your what we say like as a favorite fan movement? like you got many fans uh, running towards you.
Oh no,
So
no, I was never that famous as you're saying. I was always semi-famous, I would say. I was never as famous as I don't know, Kannan Gill or Biswa or all the AIB guys and stuff like this. But yeah, sometimes when I'll be traveling in the Bangalore metro or something like that, somebody would recognize me and they would say, "Oh, are you Pooja Vijay? We saw your show the other day." A lot of people would send me Facebook messages, Instagram messages saying, "So your show inspiring." Um, so yeah, many things like that would happen. I actually get embarrassed. So sometimes when people will ask me, can I take a selfie with you? I get kind of shy. So I don't like that so much. But I definitely appreciated the messages. I really like the messages on Facebook and Instagram that used to come, which were appreciating me. So yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
many people they say that agar ek boy he is more like a funny kind of a guy. So girls they want to be around such guys who make jokes and who can make other people laugh. So 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 is that true?
I mean, I'm a girl, so I don't know whether boys want to be around a girl who's making them laugh. So this is a question for you. I don't, I don't know whether you should tell me whether you like to be with a girl who laughs or not.
Well, I have not given a
Whom,
thought to it.
so yeah, think about it and you can get back to me.
Oh my God, that's why I am
Well,
single,
I am
I
also
guess.
single. I'm also single, so we can both think about it and
Yeah.
get back.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, so you were into you are still into this stand-up field, and one thing which I have understood that if fl- uh, that that effluency is not a prerequisite for stand-up comedy. So what other are the prerequisite for it?
That's a very good question. Yeah, I don't think fluency is a prerequisite for anything. I understand maybe in the UPSC exam, as Akhtar said and stuff, it is a bit tough, but I would like to think that at least in public speaking, it should not be a prerequisite. If you want to do a debate or Toastmasters or stand-up comedy or any kind of public radio, RJ or anything, I think fluency should not be a prerequisite. Obviously, in stand-up, you have to be funny. You have to have a good sense of humor. This is important. Um, but also you have to work hard. It's actually you have to actually work quite hard because all the shows are in the evening, and I used to travel from I don't know how many people are from New Delhi, but I used to travel all the way from Connaught Place to Gurgaon in the metro to go and do a show. So yeah, it used to be quite a lot of effort for me just to do 5 minutes. I had to wait 3-4 hours just to do 5 minutes. So you have to be very passionate, you have to be hardworking, you have to have a good observation, because stand-up comedy is a lot about you're noticing things around you, the way people behave, the way things are, and you're making observations about it. So you have to have a good you have to notice, I have a good observational capacity. um, and yeah, you just have to write, you have to write your jokes, you have to be di- disciplined, and quite hardworking and passionate. You have to have a lot of passion, and you have to not care about what other people think. Because if you keep thinking ki log kya kahenge, then you will never do successful in stand up, because there will be some days where people will say, oh my god, your jokes were horrible, and there'll be some days where people say, oh, your jokes were amazing, but you can't focus on what other people say. You have to just do you have to just do your best and keep trying to do your best. Yeah.
So talking about a good sense of uh, a good sense of humor. So what do you think that that everyone can learn it, or they have like जो बोलते हैं ना, they are born with it? So
Oh,
what do you
this is
think?
a tough one. I don't, I don't know. You have to have some expert on this. I don't know, because if everybody had it, then everybody will be a famous comedian. So I don't know really how to answer this question, because some people are very serious. They don't have a sense of humor. Whereas some more people are jolly, laughing type. They have more sense of humor. So I think it's each person's personality, and some people's personality, it suits for comedy, I think.
Hmm. Right. I see. I see. So then, until now, wo- what has stand-up comedy taught you?
Oh, stand-up comedy is, you can actually see my TEDx. I gave a TEDx talk
Yes, I have.
about what stand-up comedy has taught me. So maybe you can share that link in the group later. And then somebody asked me also, she sent me a message. Somebody sent me a message if I can share some of my stand-up videos. But unfortunately, because I don't do stand-up, I have taken them down. But I'll share them privately with Rohil, and maybe you can share it with the rest of the group.
Sure.
But yeah, so uh, wait, what was the question? Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, my.
Oh, what has it taught me? What has stand-up taught me? Yeah, stand-up has taught me, as I said, to be more tough and to not care about what other people say that much, to be more confident, to share my opinion. Because stand-up comedy is, if you want to be an original artist, you should have your own original thinking, your own original opinions. Um, so yeah, I think those are some of the things that stand-up has taught me. And also to trust the public. The public are actually quite kind and nice, and they are going to support you. Yeah, so I think that's another thing. Yeah. And also not listen when people say she's only a female, that's why she's doing well. Or people will always find a reason to criticize you, but you should not. You should look past that. Yeah, and surround yourself with positive people. Don't surround yourself with people who put you down.
So according to you, like when you say to surround yourself with positivity, like does it include positive competitive environment?
Yeah, I mean, you can always be competitive. Some people may be doing better in their career than you, or you may be doing better than others. Some of your friends may get, even in daily life, right? Some of your friends may be doing better. Some people may be doing worse. So competition will always be there. But what I mean by positive people is people who don't keep putting you down and saying, ki, "Oh, you are stuttering. Why are you trying to do stand up? You should not try." Um, oh, why are you trying to public speak, you should not be trying to public speak. Things like that, some people say that, why are you trying, you can't even speak properly, why are you trying? We should try to explain to those people ki it's not nice what you're saying, but if they keep saying that, then we should just try to separate ourselves from such people. Yeah.
I have seen many stand-up comedians who make fun of themselves, like some make fun of their own weight, or some make fun of I don't know, like many of their personal stuff. So from our childhood we have been taught that we shouldn't say bad things about ourselves. So can the stand-up comedians who joke about themselves, do they have some kind, like do they have to face some kind of what we say a negative impact, like according to your experience?
So I think even I make fun of my stand-up, but that's on of my stutter when I do stand-up, but that's only to clear the air that ki, this is the problem I have. Ki I, and if I make jokes on it, then other people can't be surprised. I think this is why a lot of comedians do it. Because if you say ki haha I'm fat and I'm this and I'm that, then other people can't say anything, right? So other people can't, you want to say it before another person can say it. So I think this is why most people tend to do that, but I don't like to make too much fun of myself also. Ki why should I keep putting myself down? I like just 2-3 minutes I'll make some jokes about my stuttering, and then but even then I'll maybe tease some other people ki how stupid people are reacting, or how stupidly people are saying something about those things. But usually I try to avoid concentrating on negative. I don't like to put myself down or be negative about myself too much. Um, and yeah, I think that's something that I don't think is healthy for our mental state also, if we keep putting ourselves down. Yeah.
Like we have seen many situations where a stand-up comedian has made jokes on some, some various topics, and then that got them into a huge trouble. So were you in anytime in your career, were you in any of that situation?
I made some feminist jokes, some jokes, and then a lot of people troll me and send me many dumb and this and that. So I have been in that situation too, and it's not a very nice situation. I didn't do stand up for 2 weeks. I just kept quiet. Luckily, I was not that famous, so it did not become that big a issue. It was only a Bangalore issue. But yeah, it is scary for many stand-up comedians. Ki if you make a joke about anything, somebody can get offended somewhere and start sending some messages. And my mother and grandmother were very nervous actually. Um, so yeah, it was quite uh, a problem when I got those issues, and I don't want to get such issues again. So I will try, but I mean, we never know what will upset somebody, but yeah, I don't want to get stuck in such a situation again.
I can understand that. So in your stand-up comedy career, which was your best thing? Like for example, in my job career, like I can still remember few instances where I can definitely say that yes, that was my best day of my career. So do you want to talk about your best days? Like I don't know, you were able to laugh people a lot. So any of such days?
You mean in stand up or just in my life?
Like then we can talk about both of things. So
So I
first,
think in stand up, my best, I think the highlight of my life, even though I've done many corporate shows for Adidas and LG and all these, I think Canvas Laugh Club, when I used to do shows in Canvas Laugh Club with all the big stars, I think this is the highlight. And then once I did a show with Aditi Mittal, that was also amazing. So I think those shows, when you do it with very great comedians who are so established, so famous, you feel so humble ki I did a show with such a big star, or I did a show with such a funny, amazing person. So that those instances were definitely very humbling for me and very amazing for me. But yeah, in my life, I don't know, uh, I mean, I don't have one event like that. I just very much, but I very much just enjoy spending time with my family and my friends. And I think that is my most happiest time, when I'm spending time with them.
and And in your college and in your school days, were you the one who used to crack up many jokes, or in the school ऐसा वो एक कोई ना कोई बॉय और गर्ल होता ही है जो पूरे
Clown,
जोक को
the class
फंसाता है,
clown.
or not
Yeah.
actually the clown, but but the entertainer.
Entertainer.
Right?
No, actually, you know what? I'm not. I am not that. All my friends, I laugh a lot. So my friends will make me laugh, and I'll be laughing. I love to laugh. So actually, they were surprised when I did stand up because usually other people are always making me laugh. So I love to listen to jokes and I'll just be laughing and laughing. So no, I don't think I was the entertainer. I think only on stage I'm the entertainer. Off stage, actually, I am quite, yeah, other people make me laugh.
So do you have any for the audience? Do you have any fundas that how we all can improve our jokes so that we can be the famous one in our college or corporate offices, something like that?
Sorry, can you ask that again?
So I said that. Can you share some ideas or something like that on how we can improve our the capability to improve our jokes? So is there any way to do that?
I
Because
think, as
frankly,
I said, just making more observations about people, making observations about how people behave and what you find uh, funny, because I really think that it's important for us to, and also not to make fun of others, but to make fun of the situation, not to put somebody down, ki you're so stupid or something, but more just noticing the funny situations and how certain things are very funny. That is how I at least would have done my did my comedy. Um, and no, yeah, just be more observational, just notice what other people say and just making jokes on that always works. And being relatable to others, just being a friendly, warm, kind person, just, yeah, those things also help in making other people laugh. Yeah.
okay. So before we end this session, can we have some more questions from the audience? Because at the end, I want to know what advice you would like to give to someone who wants to pursue stand-up comedy, or to some fellow PWS. Yeah, so can we start the Q&A the short Q&A session?
Uh, Hi, Pooja. I am
Hello.
Arjun from Bangalore. Yeah. I have two questions for you. One is, what has been the one thing that has helped you the most in managing your stammering? Has it been the uh, attitude, or has it been the physical techniques which have really helped you? And secondly, we all keep talking only about the negative aspects of stammering. What is the most positive impact of stammering in your life?
So to the first question, I definitely think definitely it is important to learn speech therapy. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but practicing that and engaging in society is the attitude, right? Because if you can learn whatever techniques that you want to learn, but then it becomes difficult if you don't practice that in society, or you don't actually use that with others, or you're feeling, even with the techniques, you can feel shy to speak to others and things like that. So I think it's definitely more the cute, that feeling of ki, okay, even if I have a stutter, I can go and talk out to other people, I can go talk in public. I think that becomes important. Positive, that's a good question. I've never actually thought what is positive. What is positive about having a stammer? Maybe one, as my friends say, it's cute. I don't know. Maybe some people find it adorable or cute. This person is speaking like with a stutter. I don't know. Maybe I'll go and ask my friends what they find positive aspect.
So we
Hello,
can.
Pooja. Story. My name is Prashant. I'm from Mumbai. So I have two questions for you.
Wait, you're the one who asked me to do a show now. I'm not
Yes,
doing a show
yes.
now. No, no, no. I'll
Just a-
send you. I'll send you my stand-up clip, pakka, after this. And then he can share it with the group. Yeah.
No, but we want to see live also.
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So I have two questions for you. Like, how do you deal with the fear of public speaking? And the second question is how to learn comedy and humor, how to develop humor.
So I think the fear of public speaking will be there in all of us, as I already said. That's something that we can't have, but we can never get rid of that fear. That fear will always be there. But despite the fear, we have to just go ahead and we have to try to succeed. See, I always think we have to face our fears. The fear will always be there, but we have to face the fear. So, as I said, when I had a stand-up show or an exam, it's like when you have an exam, you don't want to write the exam. You want to skip the exam, you feel some anxiety, you don't want to, but you have to do it, so you go and you just do it. So that's how I think. I said, I want to do this, I have to do this, so I have to just ignore the fear and I have to move on. I think it's an attitude thing, as somebody just asked me now, whether it's an attitude versus technique thing. It's definitely attitude is 90% and technique is 10%, according to me. Learning humor, I think, it, as I said, I used to just make observations and write jokes. And there is if you even not go on YouTube or anything, when you're doing a stand-up joke, there is a certain way you have to do it. You have to have a setup, a story, and then the punchline. So there's definitely a technique, but this, if you go online, you can even see the technique for making a stand-up joke is these three things. First, you have to say, oh, okay, you have to have a setup, a middle line, and then the punchline. So those techniques you can find online. It's similar to how when we have a stammer, we learn certain techniques to get rid of it. So in the same way, you can have certain techniques like that for humor as well. But how to be funny? I think that's some. I mean, so I can teach you techniques to improve the joke, but you should be a funny person to begin with to even come up with the jokes, right? I mean, it's tough for some external person to tell you how to be funny. Some people are funny, some people are serious, some people are more jolly type, some people are more serious. I think it's a personality thing too. But attitude is important. I'll definitely say that. I like that question, technique versus attitude. I think attitude is 90% of any success in our lives.
We can go forward with Anurag Agrawal. Okay, so Anurag wants to ask that
Hello,
how
sir.
to maintain.
Hi.
Oh yeah, he's there.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, I have question that as you are a stand-up comedian and you have to perform on stage. So you have you so how do you how do you maintain the quality of quality of content
Quality of,
even quality of the content even while stuttering, because this is one thing which always intrigate me, that I have content but because of due to stuttering, I was not able to deliver it in best
No, but
manner.
your quality of content doesn't have much to do with your stuttering, right? Because I'm saying the jokes, and it's whether I stutter or whether I don't stutter, it's the same joke. So I think, as I said, the attitude that your quality is good and your content is good, then
Ma'am,
you don't, yeah,
hmm,
and you don't need 100% fluency to communicate that. Even though you're stuttering, the quality is there. So I don't think your quality of content reduces because of the stand-up of the stuttering.
okay. Well, I want to ask that while performing, do you not get that thought that if I do not stutter, then it can be more better, because I feel that thing.
Yeah, so that's then a self-confidence thing, right? And that is what I explained in the beginning as well, that you have to accept this is who you are. Because if you keep thinking that my quality will only be good when I have 100% fluency, then that will become a problem for you always. So then you have to have the mentality ki my content is very good now as I am. Because if you keep thinking only when I reach 100% fluency, then I would not have been doing anything in my life, right? I would be sitting and only trying to get 100% fluency till I'm 100 years old. So in that sense, I think that we need to accept who we are right now, that I have good opinions, I have good content, I have good thoughts, I have good communication. And as I am, I need to try to improve. I need to communicate as I am. And of course, keep doing the techniques, keep doing the breathing exercises, keep doing all those things. But you have to do and say and communicate right now. You can't keep waiting to achieve 100% fluency. Yeah. I think two more questions. Hatik and Vikas. Hatik, do you want to go first? Yeah. Hello, Pratik?
Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot.
I can hear you.
Okay. Hi, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, I must say you look really nice.
Thank you.
And so I have a question that I have observed and seen when I talk to someone, either be a male or female. Sometimes I do not listen actively, and I just focus on the fact that I have to answer well. I have to answer in a more sophisticated manner. I should not make faces and all. Secondly, the last one, whenever I attend some networking sessions, I go out to people and talk. So I make a lot of new contacts, but I feel sometimes that I lack the social skill. It is not due to the fact that I stutter. Sometimes I just simply run out of ideas, like what to speak. So I don't know.
This happens to me also. I mean, how much can we keep socializing and talking to everyone? Sometimes, I mean, we cannot get along with everybody, right? That's why we have certain close friends and we don't have certain friends. So I think this is common problem what you were saying. I don't think it's anything wrong with you or anything. I mean, you can try to make common topics on the weather, on the traffic and all these things, but after, what job do you have, are you married, all these kind of things. After that, I mean, what can you talk? So I don't think there's any problem with you as such. But yeah, about the faces and all that, I agree. Even sometimes I don't, even when I, especially on Zoom, I don't like to look at myself sometimes when I stutter. You know, I feel bad. Why is my mouth making such faces? But again, this is something we just have to accept. I think it's just something we need to deal with and accept. I don't think, and of course, we can improve with the exercises, but it is something that occurs to me as well, or that crosses my mind as well. And I don't say it's easy, but as I said, try to concentrate more on what you want to do and what you want to communicate, as opposed to concentrating on how will the other person react or what will the other person think.
And ma'am, just one more thing. Sometimes when I start the conversation, the starting part is a bit difficult, like when I introduce myself. But once I enter the conversation, things are quite smooth. So that starting of the blocks is like sometimes different. Thing is that I usually speak most of the words well, but when I speak my name, I take a few seconds extra. So every time I have to speak my name, somehow so I get self-conscious. I don't know why. I have spoken my name like 1,000 of times, but still it pops out in my head. So
Well,
just getting over.
Well, this exact same things happen to me too. Even when I do the stand-up show, first 2 minutes I'll be stuttering, then next 25 minutes I will not stutter, at very less. So this happens to me too often in the shows. And even with my name, when I say my name, I stutter. I don't know why. Maybe that's something that we have, but even I stutter when I say my name as well. So I think these are just some some issues that is probably common amongst the stuttering society. Yeah. But I think you spoke well. I think all of you spoke very well, and I don't feel that you all can't do comedy or public speaking. I think you all speak really well. So you do not be scared to go and speak in front of other people.
So we can take next question. We can take from
Mansi and Vikas, and then after that I may need to go at 6 o'clock. So
no, we can now we can ask.
There were 2 more questions. Oh no, oh sorry.
Yeah,
Oh sorry. Okay, I don't know. I saw Mansi. Yeah, sure. Vikas has been waiting for some time, so maybe he can go first. Yeah.
Shubham, can go.
Vikas, do you want to ask? I don't know. Is he there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
Hello, madam.
Hello.
My name is Vikas. Madam, I sometimes stammer whole days, and sometimes I speak fluently whole day without stammering. What is the reason behind that? You can suggest me some exercise to deal with it.
I'm not a speech therapist, so I think Rohil will be better to help you or to give you speech therapist or advice around this. I don't know the reason why this is happening to you or how to improve it, the techniques and all those things. But maybe you can join HISA and they can help you more with this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
There are 2 Rajats also. Rajat Gupta, Rajat. Do you want to ask a question? Rajat, do you want to ask a question? Gupta?
Hello.
Or anyone? Yeah. Hi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, when you say my name, I don't know why my heartbeat goes up.
Oh, okay.
And I stammer more than usual.
Okay.
तो मैम ये क्यों होता है?
I don't know that. I don't know that. Anyway, can we move to the next question?
Yeah.
Or
so,
is it over?
so
Or the
then we
session is
will-
over?
Yeah. I guess we have took enough
Mm-hmm.
Enough. So yeah, I guess we had enough Q&A session. Yeah. So
Mhm.
then, do you have any any advice like which you would like to share with us? It can be anything about the hardships of life, or you know how to excel in stand-up comedy, like whatever advice you would like to give to us.
No, I mean, I think I've given a lot of mantras and advice. So I think in enough of me speaking. I think the last thing is the attitude, just to have a good attitude, and to just encourage everyone that to be confident and to go and speak in front of other people and to face our fears. I think that's about it. And acceptance, as I said, 100% fluency for many of us is not a reality. So just acceptance that we may never gain 100% fluency, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do the same things that other people do. I think that's about it. Yeah.
And if I am not wrong, you are pursuing PhD in
Mm-hmm.
climate change.
Mm-hmm.
So when can we see you back, like in the field of stand-up comedy?
Maybe by the end of this year, hopefully. Hopefully by the end of this year.
So you will be so you will be having your shows in India or out of
I
India?
have no plan, so I don't know. But when I do know, I will let you know.
I definitely want to attend your stand-up comedy.
But
Well,
thank you so much for inviting me and for having this conversation with me.
it was like as I said at the start, I feel truly privileged to have this Gup-Shap session with you. Since you have brought a kind of a uh, revolution in it. So I mean, wow. So yeah, so then thank you once again. Thank you for joining us at this Gup-Shap session. And I hope even you have enjoyed it
Yes, I
all
have
have.
enjoyed it.
So thank you very.
Rohil, before we leave, Pooja, do you want your mom to say anything? Your mom or your
I don't know if my
grandmother?
mother or grandmother, I don't think
I
they
think
want,
they are here.
I don't know. Yeah, they're both here, and my aunt is also here. I don't know if any of them want to say anything. They are free. Amma, Thati, Harima, if you all want to say anything, now is the chance. But
Just a
I
minute,
don't,
just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. I just,
I don't think so. None of them are unmuting, so I don't think so.
no, Pooja, what's the name? Again,
So
ask them to unmute.
Vasanta, Rajeshri, and Jayashri, these are the three.
Vasanta, Rajeshri, and Jayeshri.
Yeah. So if they want to say anything, they are free to say.
Yeah, I've asked them to unmute them. Yeah. So yeah, they can speak.
Okay. I didn't want the video on, but anyway, Pooja, it was really a motivational speech. I enjoyed listening to it thoroughly. Excellent.
Thank you, Parima. Thank you. I don't know if my mom wants to say, Amma.
Yeah, I would like to say a few words.
Yeah, say.
Yeah, am I unmuted? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm really proud of you, Pooja. And she has never, I want to tell all of you that she has never felt that she had any disability in spite of her stammer. So none of us in the family have noticed it big unless others pointed it out. And she's always been very self-confident. That is something that I would like all of you to have. Confidence. She'll say, let people say whatever they want. Not only for her stutter, in the way she dresses up, in the way she talks, in the way she moves with people. She also always used to say, I don't care. But that doesn't mean she doesn't respect others. But like me, she also lives life on her own terms. I always believe living life on my terms. That doesn't mean trampling over people or hurting others, but you should not let others tease you or teasing you or making fun of you affect you. That's what I used to keep telling both my daughters. Let people talk what they want. They're going to forget when they get the next gossip, they will move on. So today they'll be talking about Kareena Kapoor. Tomorrow it'll be Deepika. It'll be, I mean, the gossip keep changing and they will even forget you. Now nobody wants to remember Meena Kumari or anybody. So it's just that people are not going to remember you and you're not that important to people. So don't think too much about yourself. Just move on with your life. And I advise all of you to do that because I'm a teacher. I think I'm addressing all of you. Please get on with your lives, have more confidence. And if people are making fun, just ignore them. That's all. That's my advice to all of you. And I'm really proud of Pooja because she has never let that starter come in a way of coming up in life. So best of luck to all of you.
I don't know, my grandmother is not unmuted, but I think she's trying to speak.
Yes, I'm ready.
But
Unmute, okay.
Yes.
I have unmuted. Can I speak now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really very proud of my granddaughter, and she is a very kind person, a very good human being, and very confident about everything what she does. I really appreciate her, and also I request all of you to develop such qualities in you. You can inculcate such qualities from her, and you will all shine in your life. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving them a chance to speak. Nikhil,
Yeah,
thank you for giving them a chance to
Rohit, you
speak.
can continue.
Wow, that was really great. Yeah, so as I was saying, I really can't thank you enough for for giving your precious time for this Gup-Shap session.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and please send me the recording whenever it comes out.
Sure. We will be emailing you the recording. So bye everyone, and have a happy Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye.